good a few days there.
All right, hold on a second. All right, Chief, we are rolling. First question is always the easiest. I guess we just get your name and tell us what happened.
My name is Colonel John Hayden. We are in the 3900 block. Just behind me, we're in the 3900 block of Garfield. Just about 10 minutes to 1 a.m. this morning, our officers were conducting a pedestrian check or a series of pedestrian checks in the area. There was a notice that several persons were in and around a car. This area is known for heavy drug activity. The officers are always patrolling this area to deal with that drug activity. As they approached this car, again, there were several people congregating around the car. They noticed that the occupant was the driver, had marijuana on his lap. These officers, it's in a two-man car. The officers attempt to extract the individual out of the car. He resists arrest. During that struggle, one officer manages to attempt to tase the suspect unsuccessfully. The struggle continues. The partner officer notices that there's a gun that the person is trying to remove from his pocket, at which time the officer disengages and fires one shot. This shot strikes the suspect in the chest. One of the officers in the area tries to do first aid until the arrival of EMS. The suspect is taken to an area hospital. He has since been pronounced deceased, but there was one shot fired. But again, this is an area heavily known for drug activity. The officers noticed a congregation of folks in and around the vehicle. As they approached, again, they were going to do some pedestrian checks due to the fact that this is a heavily known area, heavily known for heavy drug activity. They noticed that a male suspect, he turns out to be a black male in his 20s, that he had marijuana on his lap. They go to make the arrest. They struggle with the suspect. There's a taser that is attempted to be deployed. It was unsuccessful usage. The partner officer notifies his partner that there is a gun that the suspect is trying to remove and pull out, at which time the officer fires a shot, strikes the suspect in the chest. The pistol was recovered. It's a revolver. It's fully loaded. Also, the marijuana was recovered. Again, the suspect was taken to an area hospital after first aid was applied on the scene, but the suspect has since been pronounced deceased.
Did he actually point the gun at the officer? Do we know that?
So what I understand, it was a struggle over the gun, and so I do not believe that he was able to get it out, but at the same time they struggled over the gun, did try to tase the suspect to get control, unable to do so, and then a shot was fired.
Did the taser miss? Did you say there was a misfire? How did you say that?
I said that the tasing was unsuccessful. In other words, it did not have its desired effect.
So it hit him, but it just didn't knock him down.
Well, what I'm saying is that the taser was attempted to be utilized, and that tasing did not prevent the struggle from ensuing.
I was told there was a child in the car. Is that true?
There was a child in the car near his mother. So the mother of the child was also in the general vicinity, and so during the struggle, the child jumped out of the car and ran to his mother.
How old? Speculation. How old the child?
I understand it to be a 7-year-old female. I did mention he, but I understand it to be a 7-year-old.
That was the victim's child.
I'm not sure about the. I know the child ran to his mother. Ran to her mother. I'm not sure of the father, but the child ran to her mother during this ordeal.
Last question.
So we had two people in the car?
That is correct. It would have been the adult male who is now deceased, the suspect, and there was a 7-year-old female in the car during the ordeal who jumped out and ran to her mother, who was in the general vicinity.
It was the crowd of people around the car that got the officer's attention. He noticed, was it a level of chaos, energy that drew his attention?
Well, I'm not sure that there was a level of chaos. I do know that the officer would have been aware of the heavy drug activity. This is an area that's on the map, it's on the radar as being heavily drug involved. The captain would be a person that would direct officers to this area because of the heavy drug activity. A lot of complaints from citizens about this particular block and heavy drug activity.
So the
Thank you, guys.
Could you say about how much marijuana was there? Was it personal or was it intent to distribute?
It's a quantity of marijuana that was able to be observed from the street.
What can you tell us about the officer?
Oh, the officers. So the officers involved, one has been on 4 years. He's 28 years old, and the other has been on 2 years. He's 24 years old. So 2 officers involved, 1 officer shot. Thank you.
All right, thank you.